Hello, everybody. Welcome to your weekly announcements for the week of January 8th, 2023. I cannot believe that we are 8 days into this really creative and juicy year that we're having. Okay, now, before I get into it, I have been doing some thinking about this, and I've come to the conclusion, and I need you to listen up, because this is really big. There are going to be people that are going to be going into people's houses. I mean, I'm talking creators who have either 1K subscribers over that amount or 1,000,000 subscribers. Why are they going to go into their homes? Well, they're going to be removing something, which I'm sure is more valuable to some, less valuable to others. More meaningful to some, less meaningful to others. But, they're going to be removing something. I believe it's called a YouTube play button that they're going to be removing. And this is just a plaque that you get when you cross a certain number of followers. You know what? I really don't buy that at all. I mean, I find it just... I think it's very disheartening and kind of rude and not fair why you would get an award for efforts that you have not even done. I mean, typically when you go to the Emmys, the Grammys, the Peabody Award or the Golden Globes or whatever, you get an award for your efforts. Your own efforts. Your own efforts. Olympics. People who play in sports get gold medals. If you've seen the dance moms, you've seen the trophies that they receive when they win. They were the ones who, I'd like to say, empowered themselves and did the work, put in the effort, and they have earned that reward. I mean, I have to quote the devil here. Now, I don't like doing this, I really don't, but let me be honest. I mean, you earn things. You don't deserve everything. I mean, I want to rephrase that. So many things that you receive in life are a result of what you have earned to attain that thing. And typically under just law and fair law, under right and wrong, and under, what makes sense and what's practical and what's reasonable and what's legitimate is, guess what? You win this award because you are the one who put in the time, put in the work to complete a feat that was challenging. Like when you act in a bunch of movies and you get an award. Your efforts. YouTube, I really don't know what drives their minds into the decisions that they make. I really don't. But apparently they don't believe that. It's beyond me why the creators of YouTube don't believe that. Isn't it a little bit, uh, you know, like really in the head why you would get a reward for other people giving you a following? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, other people. Other people who gave you a following. Oh, what an achievement. 1K subscribers. Oh, what an achievement. Come on. I guess it's an achievement for anyone who has a heavy level of Leo, and I mean the moon's in Leo today. How many people did they get? Oh, people applaud you. And we're going to give you a reward for so many people applauding you. Wow. I mean, do you see? Do you hear how ridiculous this is? These creators get a plaque that's off of the backs of other people. Out of how many subscribers they get, how much following they get. Not from their efforts. I mean, they could produce so many videos. I mean, they could put the time and then the effort of what they could do to produce the videos. Maybe it doesn't matter how many videos that you put in the time and the care to make it high quality or do all those things, and you don't get a reward for making, I don't know, 100 videos. You don't get a reward for being avid on there, and maybe let's wait a year or 2 years. Well, that deserves a reward. Guess what? I'm pretty sure that whenever you try to create account after account and try to subscribe to your own channel with those other accounts to give yourself that following, you give up. Because why have all those meaningless accounts just laying around? For no reason except just to be subscribed to your own channel. That's ridiculous. These people absolutely would deserve to have this reward and treasure the reward and keep it on a shelf and store it and cherish it. If, you could have 51 subscribers, but then 1 year, okay, I kept it up, I was avid on YouTube, you're getting a reward. Or maybe 2 years, you're avid on YouTube and you put in a lot of high quality effort. You're getting this reward. Now, in a way, it makes sense, but then again, it doesn't make sense because you can't control the outer world. I mean, yeah, you work hard to get yourself a following, to get other people to like you, and you get a reward for them. But then again, people should get rewarded for the content that they do alone, not for how many people flock to it and subscribe to it. Now, isn't that ridiculous? These people would deserve to have a reward if there wasn't some strings attached to just the whole process of getting it. I mean, let me show you something that I find is really, it takes your breath away. It really does. And I am going to have a conversation with her about this because it is really an issue that needs to be taken care of. Let me just show you this. I find this absolutely just unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this. I want to show you something. See this? Let me out zoom it here. See this? You can't control them. I can't control them. But guess what? You can control your own choices and you can control your actions towards the system, your responses towards the system, how you react. I mean, I think it's a flawed system. I won't give into it. I mean, I don't know how the whole process works. Does somebody just come and deliver to you? Or do you get it from, I don't know, a delivery truck? Or maybe the mail? Like, I don't know. I mean, what this happens? I mean, what if you live strictly in a sort of, I don't know, type place? I mean, does Braca Goldsmith have one of these? Does Deborah Silverman have one of these? This is really, you know, you know, I'm kind of circling around the person who probably talks about Pluto into Aquarius as being a time where things are going to become more equal. And, the top down, some people at the top having more, rights than other people. I don't know. Maybe something will change within the next 20 years in regards to YouTube systems and policies and beliefs and rules. I mean, okay, it's sort of the run of the mill. Here's the formula. You start on YouTube. You make videos. You get a following. And then all these new doors open. All these features come out. That's the formula. And then, lo and behold, when you have 1K subscribers, oh wow, you get a reward for having 1K subscribers. Then you get another reward. One in silver, one in bronze. Silver, then bronze. As if you were to take that to kind of solve this mystery, if it was a mystery or case at all, and I really want Hetty Wainthropp to look into this, I really do. But anyway, features come out, save for one feature, but, other features, monetization, memberships, creating your own story and then sharing little clips of the story on YouTube, which is again another ridiculous feature. I've spoken about it before. I mean, it's ridiculous because something's so simple. So I mean, it's not a big deal. All it is a story. I mean, that's all it is. Videos, clips. But you're sharing, you're making videos. Sure, I mean, I don't know. But this, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but this is a skeleton. This is a skeleton in a closet of people that, were really glyphed. I mean, when I say that, I mean, this is something that was given by people with flawed regulations. And it's really sad. It's really sad that, I don't know, this person could have received it earlier. I mean, the motives behind receiving this, again, as I said before, should be, well, I've worked hard and I've produced and I have made, really quality content. I mean, yes, you're really popular and, so much. But come on. Come on. I mean, God forbid the people who have way less of a following, who produce really high quality videos, and, who do put in the time and eat. Yeah, I mean, God forbid those people should not have this. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is about, oh, I'm working hard to get this following. This is rubbing it into people's faces and impurifying their motives. Impurifying. Instead of people, especially the new generation people who are coming in, who just want to make videos. I mean, they had so much purity. They had so much, genuine interest in things. I mean, genuine interest in things. In whatever topic or whatever they want to produce. You have people who are going to wrap their values around views, likes, subscribers, following, and these little features that come out, including this. I could dance my heart out, and I wouldn't get this. I could labor trying to swim in the Olympics, and I still wouldn't get this. And yet, somebody does something, and they do it for so long, and then the only reason why they would receive this is because if they were to take a look at their following, by sheer dumb luck, they would have that following. They didn't create their following. Other people gave it to them. Other people gave these creators this reward. They were the reason. Instead of the creator, who should be the reason for the videos. They and instead, I mean, it's almost like in Just Dead Magic. At the very end of season 1, instead of Kelly playing a really big price with the Pluots, every single person would play a very small price. And they would get a Pluot and they would eat it, and then someone had, that whole deal. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, okay, well, ship this thing out to everyone who subscribes. I mean, then that doesn't make sense. What does make sense? Well, you get this reward after a year of consistently keeping at it and making videos. Just that alone. And that in and of itself, regardless of anyone else giving you a following, just your efforts and your own merit alone should be enough. And should be all. It should really take the cake. Should be it. Nothing else. No strings attached. No other stuff. Just that alone. Just that alone. And yet, somebody received this, got a ring on the doorbell, received this, and now is putting it out into the world and showing it off like, wow, look at my amazing plaque. Because I am bigger and better than you, because I have a following, because I have this. YouTube is creating this whole world of comparisonitis. Of people comparing themselves. Of people being envious. And people getting rewards for the wrong reasons. Which is really disheartening. Very disheartening. I mean, I don't think that these people deserve to have this reward. And I'm going to do something about it. Another thing that I find really disheartening is, this person, who I know, is a member of my Minton. And I said, guess what? Anyone who makes themselves better than anyone else, I have a problem with that. And I have a problem with this. Goodness gracious, I know somebody else who had a whole thing about about a mug that she received with a citrine crystal. I'm going to say this in full honesty. She deserves to have that mug with the citrine crystal. Marie DeSimone deserves to have the mug with the citrine crystal. It was a gift that was given to her by a friend, not under a global system that so many people know of. I don't know the other dynamics of that and how that went into play. All I can gather is the story that she told about the mug and her receiving it. How she was at one of her astrology meetings. Her, astrology, mother, who she called her, gave her a citrine crystal. Then she gave it up to somebody else and passed it down. Then she got it back. She passed it down to Colin Bedell. And then she received it back very recently. Yes, you can show that off if you want to. Comparatively. Yeah. You can show it off. You can show that off if you're really proud of it and if you like it. And if it's really meaningful to you. But this is different because this goes a little deeper. And this, there's so many, downsides to this. It just fuels the fire of the people who are going to become obsessed with social media, getting their following, triggering narcissism, all of those little, bullet points. Just one after the other, filling them up. By the very same person who says everyone's special, therefore no one is special. No one's above anybody else. And here you go, kissing and giving love and attention towards this plaque, this medal, this reward, making yourself bigger, better, and more special than other people. Because you have this. And your numbers are bigger than other people. And I also want to throw in, and this is not the first thing, but I also want to throw in, remember what I mentioned. Now, I don't like to throw that in because it sounds possessive of me. And I don't like to be possessive of people. But, regardless of being part of my invention or not, it's still rude to so many people. And it's something that they do not need to be exposed to unless they can sort of become empowered to do the work to achieve that. Instead of do all that work and then hope and pray that the only reason they're getting it is because of the following. Good grief, it's only a metal plaque. Just like a reward is a reward. Just like a trophy is a trophy. Oh, but then it means something? Probably doesn't mean the most to me, but it represents a lot, a lot to other people about your, you receive a reward for your achievements, your efforts, your efforts, not other people giving it to you so that you could get it. That is wrong. That's just plain wrong. And, that is not what I believe in. So, when you go to show something off to people, kind of be mindful of what you're showing off. You can show off a lot of things, but you cannot show off this, especially just this. This should be on a commercial. I could easily screenshot this and send this off to YouTube as a commercial for getting one of these things. This person can pose for a commercial for YouTube, and then you'd see it on an ad that you be watching a video about this handle. And then this person's showing it off. Oh, but then the one detail that they left out is this person talks about spirituality and talks about astrology. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's just the commercial. It's just the bells and whistles. It's just the glitz and glam. It's just those types of things. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Is the following, and that's the only reason why you get this is just for following. Yeah. Now I hope that I am misconstrued and that I'm misinterpreting this. Because if I'm not misinterpreting this, there's some serious problems going on with them and YouTube, in my opinion. But this is unacceptable. I mean, this is absolutely. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to tolerate people who rub in other people's faces just how amazing that they are. You know what Hyacinth Bouquet would say to this? How nice for you. How nice for you. People forget and people lose awareness. If you do something like this, in the moment that you do it, when you do it, you lose the awareness that there are people who do not have the same things that you have. You lose that awareness because it is naturally put into the human that we're so focused on what we have and what we've got that we forget that there's other people who don't have the same things as us. I'm guilty. I showed my astrology books the other day. Oh, but here's the deal. Well, I'm exposing you to this. Guess what? If you want this, well, pay for it and buy it yourself. Make the money and then you'll get it. You and your efforts alone. Other people delivering to you, but you know what I mean. You can't compare this to too many other things. It's sort of on an island of its own. YouTube and its stuff going on. I crossed 50 subscribers. I didn't even have live streaming access yet on the phone, on the app itself. I didn't have that access yet. So, still, you can't do that and you can't use those types of features. I've spoken to you about this before. You can't use, any, vertical up and down picture. Some people have it, some people don't. If you're making it public and you're putting it out to the whole world. And so, with all this said, this isn't the only person. I know Mel Robbins, she had it on her shelf and, showing it off, making it real obvious, just like this person's making it real obvious and, kissing it to represent, oh, I'm getting an accomplishment. But it's all based off of other people. Look at me, look at the following. So, it's really messing with other people's values. And, yeah, so not, taking, this kind of thing takes away what is important. I mean, what's important? Getting this and having a following, is that important? I don't think so. What's important is that you're pursuing your passion or your interest or your hobby. What's important is what you put into the videos. And you doing it consistently. I mean, you doing it over and over again. And, you know, so as if you were to take all these souls one by one and make people just rise up out of their souls and just move up into the ego mind and have that rule the roost. And the ego wants to be fed, wants to be happy, wants to feel secure and famous and, well versed and well loved and, get the attention and with all that, instead of the soul running the ship. It's most important. What does the soul want? Not the ego. This is the ego. And I don't care if you're talking about soul stuff and spirituality and astrology. That doesn't matter. All that matters is following, and that's all that matters. So yeah, this is not the best moment of Nani Ashar. Not the most soulful moment. It's ego, all ego. So I don't know. I mean, is there anything more I can say about this? Fact is, people do not deserve to have this reward. It's false. There should be a party thrown and a chariot being thrown around and a sort of music festival with all the people who give the following. And each one of them can get a chance to have the reward and experience it for themselves. I mean, or something else. Something else. Not this. So, if I ever get it, it will be gone. I will put it in my attic. I will put it in my garage. And, I may even put it in my shed. And maybe it could be sent to the smelter yard. I mean, it could be used for iron, metal, it's kind of, you could question, what is it good for? I mean, this reward is sort of standalone from other rewards. So I'm not talking about any other rewards. I'm talking about this one when I say this. What's it good for? To sit on the shelf or to be used for something useful? What could a play button be used for? What could it be used for? A table to hold things? What could it be used for? That's the question. What is it good for? You can't trust anyone to do what you want to do. You can't control the people. So that's exactly why you kind of have to take the reins sometimes. And that's exactly why I'm going to take the reins this time. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have some people that are going to do their research. I mean, I did not do all of that explanation and say all that for this to just be not, done. People are going to be mapping out all these creators' addresses, and they're going to be going into their homes, and they're going to be taking the plaques back. I do not need resistance against this. I do not need to be drained or pulled down. And I don't need people to fight me against this because it's going to go on. It is going to happen. And if a single person wants to fight me or try to not have this happen, well, guess what? Don't even try. Because I'm aware of what I'm saying. I'm aware of what I'm doing. And I won't have any room to open up to people who want to resist against this. What I say is going to be the way that it's going to be. Period. It is final. I have the final word. I have the final word. It's a waste of your time, energy, and breath to try to stop what is going to be happening. And what is going to be happening is that there are going to be people that are going to be coming to these creators' houses, and they're going to be taking these plaques. The bronze and or the silver plaques. The play buttons is what they're called. They're going to be taking them. They're going to probably go in a room. They're going to sit in a pile, or they might be used for metal and iron work, and I don't know what they're going to be used for. I still have to figure that out. But there are going to be people that are going to go into these people's homes, and they're going to take them away. I do not want to hear the complaints. I do not want to, hear all of that negativity against me. I don't need it. I'm perfectly well aware of what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And it's going to happen. This should not be something that I should have to beg for, plead for, and push for. This should happen. If it doesn't, well, guess what? We may have to lose some people. Yeah. I can think of 2 people that we may have to let go of. 2. I mean, you may receive it. You have the choice of whether or not you want to show it. Maria de Simone and all of her, material likings for things is, I don't remember showing it ever. You know. So yeah, you have the choice of whether you want to put it out there or not, but I've already seen evidence enough. So, yeah. And I mean everyone. I mean everyone. And I see, I said what I said. I mean everybody. Everyone. Some of these people I didn't even know, but it's going to be through a system. Some kind of system. I'm not going to go back on my word. I'm not going to take it back. Instead of trying to dig through the many people who show it off, just let's make it simple and let's get rid of it for everyone who has it. So that's going to be how it's going to have to be. I really don't want to come down on people like this and take something away from them. But it's almost like they could have never received it in the first place. It's almost like they could not have had that following in the first place. So if you have that kind of logic, then, well, yeah. So, anyway, that's all for now.